Hello everyone and welcome to this Transziyzi review video. Today I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about Transziyzi, and of course if you do have any questions please leave them in the comment section down below. I'll also be leaving a discounted link in this video's description so that you can always get your money's worth for Transziyzi. So Transziyzi essentially allows you to localize your digital content and get it every single place that you want. Basically, when you produce a piece of content or media or a video or anything like that, that shouldn't be limited by how many people or what language it is in. You want it to be able to be viewed by everyone from around the world, and that's exactly what Transziyzi aims to do. It aims to, make translations really easy and intuitive, and that is what we're going to be talking through today. So we're going to begin with going to our projects page and hitting a start a new localization project. We can title the name, we'll just call it Project 1, choose or create a new team, we'll just call it Team 1, and we can do it from English, we'll translate it from English in the United Kingdom, we'll put Canada just because it's there, and then we'll change it to say Spanish, so there we go. You've got two options, you've got upload an existing resource or enter text that you want to translate into other languages. So this obviously would just open up your file explorer and means that you need to import a text file or something like that. However, what we're going to do is do enter text. So the source key is unconfirmed email message, and we can really make this whatever we want. We'll call it English to Spanish and then the translation. So we will put in, hello, my name is Opulent and we will be translating this text. There we go. And then what I can do is quickly fix this and then go assign to file, and we can either hit new file or don't. We'll hit new file and hit save and add new. So there we have it. That has now been added. So the source language is what we put in, and then this little thing here is our progress bar. So we'll be able to view where the translation is when it's done. So once it has finished, what we need to do is put in the translation for there, and that will localize what we've got. So the translation that we originally had will simply be put in there. Now the translation can't be empty. We do have to input that ourselves. However, once that's done, we can maybe have, somebody who can speak Spanish going through what we have and translating it as we go. It basically means that translators who want to have a more accurate thing, instead of just using, Google Translate, you have a native speaker working on it with you so that you're able to produce things that they will actually understand and won't have any grammatical errors. So really handy. Now, once you've actually got that, it will be in untranslated. Once it's been translated, you will then move into the unreviewed category. And this is basically the area where all of the things that have been done but you haven't approved will go. So you have the original source, and then you will have the translation. And then what you'll be able to do is select the sources by hitting a little drop down arrow and basically say whether they're good or whether they're bad. And when that's done, you'll be able to view them in the all category. This is basically untranslated and unreviewed all in one. So if we go back to this page very quickly, as you can see, the project is 0% done. Hitting here, we can change all of these things. We've got our project ID and things like that, but actually hitting on the project and hitting view, we go back to this page. Having a look here, everything in this language was successfully translated, and then we can go back a page and look at this one, and then obviously that is, as we were on earlier, will need to be translated. So if we hit these options here, we have start translating, disable language, download, or delete language. Now, essentially, this does not mean that it will translate in the software. This just means that you've actually set it to be translated by either you or by a native speaker. You can disable the language entirely. You can also download what you've already got if that is something that you want to do, or completely delete it. So if you do not need Spanish anymore, then you don't need that at all. But basically, this is where you would add the list of the different languages that you want. So theoretically, you could have as many as you want, and when you produce one thing, it will be made into all of the different other languages so that people from all around the world are able to watch it. So you'd hit add new language, and we then do say, let's go ahead and do Albanian, and then we'll be able to sort one more and we'll do Bulgarian. There we go, and hit adding language. That will therefore then appear in here. Now the statuses will be here. You can see the time that it was last active and anything that you've got, the actual thing. So English Canada will appear here, and then everything down there. But that is more or less the languages side of things and how you would go about translating. Then you have the My Teams category. Now, this basically is where you're able to have separate teams for different things. So, for example, if you were running a YouTube channel, you could have one team for the YouTube channel. If you're doing maybe a films, then you'd have one team for films and things like that. Hitting the View team, you're able to invite separate collaborators to it. So, hitting this, you're able to put in the email of that collaborator that you want involved with it. So, you'd put someone at example.com. You'd be able to select whether they're team 1 or whatever team you named it, and also select their role. You have editor, translator, or admin. So as I said, those things would be basically organized into a team, and then those translators would be able to do that for you. Admins are people who oversee everything, set everything up, and editors are people who make any sort of changes that might need to be done, any sort of extra bits like that. But that is very easy, and you can also view if you have not received a response back but can't quite remember who you invited, you're able to go into the invited category and view the collaborators that have been invited but have not yet accepted. So really useful to be able to see that as well. And then finally, you have your company option. So basically the area where you're able to change all of the details to do with the company that you've got. It will assign you a random name at the beginning. So as you can see, we've got Rapid Cake and then a 4-digit number. But you're able to change this to whatever you want. I simply change it to Opulent. And then you have your domain as well, which you're also able to change and hit save. And that would be our website. Now you're only able to change this once, to be aware. You're also able to add different owners. So if you have a co-owner or a co-founder, you're able to give those people ownership as well. You also have these other options like white label, where you're able to connect to a custom domain if you want to. You also can connect it with GoDaddy, Cloudflare, or Google Domains if you purchased a domain off one of those sites. Very, very easily you're able to link those two together. And then archive projects, if there are any projects that you've done but want to keep for safekeeping and sort of looking back on in the future, you're able to do that too. But that is more or less it for Transziyzi. So now it begs the question, would I recommend it, and why might people want to use this? And for that second question, we'll answer it first. The very simple reason why people would want to use this is to just get their productions and getting their media content out to as many people as possible. Language barriers are always difficult when you're trying to reach the maximum amount of people, but this helps to fix that. Being able to create it in so many different languages, have different text, dubbing, whatever you sort of want, that is entirely possible on this site. Getting it out to people in Spain, even if it's written in English, or even all these different countries with different languages, you're able to show them to everyone. So that is what I would really say is the main, moving point between Transziyzi, is making sure that as many people can see those things that you've made, be it your company, videos, films, stuff like that. I definitely would recommend it. It's incredibly easy to use. The website looks brilliant. It's intuitive. It's fun to use as well. Everything is there that you might want with, archives. Make sure you have correct collaborators, translators, different languages. They're all there. Even different languages, for example, American English, Canadian English, and the different types of the same language are all there. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody who wants to really translate most of their products. But apart from that, thank you everyone so much for watching. I will see you next time, but until then, goodbye.